Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about modern US quarters, the 2021 United States quarter dollar, crossing the Delaware. A coin that millions of people spent every day without realizing. Some versions of it are quietly turning into treasure. So sit tight, listen carefully, and don't blink, because this might be the coin hiding in your pocket right now. The 2021 crossing the Delaware quarter brought back the classic Washington portrait on the front, but what collectors really fell in love with is the dramatic scene on the back. General George Washington standing tall as he leads his troops across the icy Delaware River. It's bold, it's historic, and it's one of the most powerful designs ever put on a modern quarter. But here's where things get exciting. Even though the mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins, a small number carry rare mistakes, tiny mint errors that turn regular pocket change into collector gold. One of the most famous is the hat die chip, often called the hat blob. Instead of a clean hat shape, you'll see an extra bump of metal sitting on the corner of Washington's tricorn. That little blob can turn a simple 25-cent coin into something worth many dollars. Another popular error is the boat die chip, sometimes called the leaky boat. Look closely at the second boat in the background. A raised dot or blob on the hull signals a true mint defect. And if your coin has both the hat chip and the boat chip together, now you're holding something even more desirable. Collectors have also found double die lettering, soft die clashes, dramatic cuts, and even off-center strikes. Each one adds character, rarity, and value. So why do collectors go crazy for these? Because modern coins rarely produce such noticeable errors, and when they do, the demand skyrockets. These errors capture a moment in minting history, a mistake frozen forever in metal. And for collectors, that combination of rarity and story makes this coin irresistible. Now let's talk numbers. A completely normal 2021 crossing the Delaware quarter is worth exactly 25 cents. Nothing special, but a small hat die chip can sell for $20 to $200 depending on condition. A strong hat and boat chip together can jump to $500 to $2,500 in high grade, and extremely rare early state errors authenticated by major grading companies have reached $25,000 at auction. Yes, that's $25,000 for a modern quarter you could find in change. So next time you grab a handful of coins from a vending machine or cash register, take a second look. Your next coin hunt could turn loose change into serious money. Top 2. We're unlocking the secrets of a coin many people overlook every single day, the 1980 United States quarter dollar. This coin may look common at first glance, but hidden inside the world of 1980 quarters are rare errors, surprising varieties, and values that can turn pocket change into serious money. So stay with me till the end, because what I'm about to share may change the way you see this coin forever. The 1980 quarter marks the return of a new era in American coinage. This was one of the first years the U.S. Mint removed silver completely from circulating quarters, producing them with a copper-nickel-clad composition. It carries the classic George Washington portrait designed by John Flanagan, and the bold eagle on the reverse, a design beloved by collectors for decades. But here's the part collectors love the most. Even though the mint struck hundreds of millions of these coins at Philadelphia and Denver, not all of them came out perfect. And those imperfections, those mint errors, are exactly what makes some 1980 quarters rare, exciting, and extremely valuable. One of the most desirable errors is the off-center strike. Instead of being perfectly aligned, the image can shift left or right, creating blank crescent shapes on the edge. The more dramatic the shift, the higher the value. Some collectors have found off-center 1980 quarters where nearly half the design is missing, creating a visually stunning mistake that can sell for far more than face value. Another rare variety is the double die error, especially on the lettering of the words Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date 1980. If these letters appear slightly doubled or shadowed, it means the die itself was misaligned during creation, and that kind of doubling sends collectors running. There are also clipped planchets, where a curved section of the coin is missing, broad strikes, where the metal spreads out wider than normal, and struck through errors, where grease, fabric, or other foreign material became trapped between the die and the blank coin. Each error tells its own story, a story of the moment the mint. Machines slipped for just a fraction of a second and created something truly unique. And that uniqueness is what makes collectors value these coins so highly. If you're a collector, this is the kind of coin you want to check every time you get it in your change. The 1980 quarter may look ordinary, but the hidden gems are out there, waiting to be discovered. Now let's talk about what these coins are actually worth today. A normal 1980 quarter in circulation is worth 25 cents. But a clean double die example can sell for $50 to $200. A dramatic off-center strike can jump to $100 to $500. High-grade mint state coins certified by professional graders have reached $1,000, and extremely rare major mint errors have been auctioned for $2,000 or more depending on condition and rarity. So don't underestimate this coin, your next valuable find could already be in your pocket. Top 3, we're exploring a coin that millions of people have touched, yet most never looked at closely, the 1990 United States quarter dollar. At first glance it looks like any ordinary Washington quarter, but hidden inside the 1990 issue are rare mistakes, surprising varieties, and secret details that can turn a simple 25-cent coin into a valuable collector's prize. So stay with me till the end, because this coin has more mysteries than you think. The 1990 quarter features the classic portrait of George Washington designed by John Flanagan, along with the powerful eagle on the reverse. This design had been used for decades, but what makes the 1990 issue interesting is the way the mint machines behaved that year. With hundreds of millions of quarters struck across the Philadelphia and Denver mints, just a small number slipped through with rare and valuable errors, and these are the ones collectors dream of finding. One of the most sought-after varieties is the double die obverse, where the letters of Liberty, the date 1990, or the phrase "In God We Trust" show faint doubling. This doubling is caused during the die-making process, and every coin struck from that die carries the same mysterious shadow effect. A clear doubled date or doubled lettering can turn the coin into a collectible beauty. Another highly valuable error is the off-center strike. Imagine the whole coin design shifted to one side, leaving a blank crescent of smooth metal along the rim. The more dramatic the shift, especially if 10%, 20%, or even more of the design is missing, the more exciting and valuable the coin becomes. Collectors also hunt for broad strikes, where the quarter appears stretched or wider than normal because it was struck outside the retaining collar. These coins look unusual and instantly catch your eye. Then there are clipped planchets, where a curved chunk of the coin is missing, and struck through grease errors, which make parts of the design appear faded, soft, or missing entirely. Each of these errors adds personality and rarity to a 1990 quarter. Some very rare examples include missing mint marks, coins struck on the wrong planchet, and extremely sharp high-grade coins with glowing luster. Because grading standards tightened over the years, finding a 1990 quarter in pristine mint state condition is harder than many people think. So what does all this mean for collectors? It means that the 1990 quarter is a hidden treasure hunt. There are rare coins mixed in with everyday change, and anyone paying attention has a chance to find one. If you love old-school Washington quarters, this is definitely a year worth searching. Now it's time for the numbers. The part everyone waits for. A normal circulated 1990 quarter is worth 25 cents. A clear double die example can bring $50 to $200. A major off-center strike can sell for $100 to $500. A clean broad strike or clipped planchet error can reach $50 to $150. High-grade certified mint state examples have sold for $1,000, and extremely dramatic mint errors have reached $2,000 or more at auction. Top 4, we're unlocking the hidden story of a coin most people never think twice about, the 1991 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, it looks like any normal Washington quarter sitting in your pocket. But don't be fooled. The 1991 quarter hides surprises, rare mistakes, and valuable varieties that can turn this simple coin into a treasure worth far more than its face value. So stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at your change the same way again. The 1991 quarter carries the classic portrait of George Washington on the front and the proud American eagle on the back, a design that defined U.S. coinage for generations. But what makes the 1991 issue especially interesting is the quality of the minting process. While millions were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, only a small number came out with the kinds of errors collectors obsess over. Let's start with one of the most talked about errors, the off-center strike. When the coin shifts during striking, the image lands crooked, leaving part of the design missing. Some off-center 1991 quarters show 10%, 20%, or even more of the design misaligned. The bigger the shift, the higher the value, and collectors absolutely love dramatic off-centers. Next, there is the double die error, where the date, lettering, or details on Washington's face appear doubled. These doubled designs look like tiny shadows and are caused by mistakes during the die-making process. A strong doubled date on a 1991 quarter can instantly raise its value. Another collector favorite is the broad strike error, where the quarter is struck without the collar ring that normally shapes it. This causes the coin to spread out wider and flatter than normal, giving it a stretched, unusual appearance that stands out immediately. There are also clipped planchets, where a curved piece of the coin is missing, struck through errors, where grease or debris blocks part of the design, and even wrong planchet errors, where the coin was mistakenly struck on metal meant for another denomination. These are the kinds of finds that turn an ordinary quarter into a jaw-dropping discovery. Even normal 1991 quarters can be valuable if they are in pristine condition. Because most circulated heavily, finding one with full mint luster, sharp details, and no wear is surprisingly difficult. High-grade mint state examples are loved by collectors and can bring strong prices at auction. Now let's talk real-world value. The part everyone waits for. A regular circulated 1991 quarter is worth 25 cents. A crisp double die example can sell for $50 to $200. A major off-center error can bring $100 to $500. A clipped planchet or broad strike error can reach $50 to $150. High-grade certified mint state coins have sold for $1,000, and extremely rare, dramatic mint errors have reached $2,000 or more at auction. Top 5, we're diving deep into a coin that many people overlook, yet collectors know it holds secrets worth searching for, the 1992 United States quarter dollar. At first sight, it looks like any regular Washington quarter, but hidden inside this year's production are rare varieties, mint errors, and surprises that can transform an ordinary 25-cent piece into a valuable collectible. So get comfortable and stay with me until the end, because the story of the 1992 quarter might just change the way you check your pocket change. The 1992 quarter features the classic George Washington design created by John Flanagan, paired with the powerful American eagle on the reverse. This was one of the last years of the traditional eagle design before the state quarters began, which already gives this coin a special place in the line of modern American coinage. Struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, hundreds of millions were made, but as collectors know, quantity doesn't always mean common. What matters are the mistakes. Let's talk about the rare errors that make the 1992 quarter exciting. Point 1 of the most valuable is the off-center strike, when the coin somehow shifts during minting and the image lands crooked. Some 1992 quarters show dramatic misalignment, leaving blank arcs along the rim. The more extreme the off-center, the more sought after the coin becomes, and collectors pay strong premiums for this kind of error. Another important variety is the double die obverse. This happens when the die used to strike the coin has a slight doubling on the lettering or the date. Look carefully at the word Liberty, the phrase In God We Trust, or the numbers in the date 1992. If they appear doubled or shadowed, you might be holding a valuable piece of mint history. There are also broad strike errors, where the quarter spreads out wider than normal because it was struck without the holding collar. These look unusual and immediately grab attention. Then come the clipped planchets, where a curve is missing from the edge of the coin, and the always interesting struck-through grease errors, which leave parts of the design soft, blurry, or missing completely. Collectors also search for high-grade mint state examples. Even though millions were produced, finding a perfectly preserved 1992 quarter with full shine and sharp details is far harder than people expect. These flawless coins bring strong bidding at auctions because they represent the very best produced during that year. All of these possibilities, the errors, the varieties, the grades, make the 1992 quarter a coin that collectors examine very closely. And if you're a coin lover, you already know how thrilling it is to find a rare variety hiding in what looks like everyday change. So now, let's talk about the values in today's real coin market. A normal circulated 1992 quarter is worth 25 cents. A double die example can sell for $50 to $200. A major off-center strike can bring $100 to $500. A clipped planchet or broad strike error can sell for $50 to $150. High-grade certified mint state coins have reached $1,000, and extremely dramatic, rare mint errors have gone for $2,000 or more at auction. Top 6. We're exploring a coin from a year that shook the United States Mint, the 1982 quarter dollar, a small piece of copper-nickel history that carries more secrets than most people realize. If you think this coin is just another Washington quarter, get ready, because the 1982 issue is one of the most exciting coins for collectors, packed with rare errors, unusual varieties, and hidden money-making opportunities. Stay tuned and watch closely. You don't want to miss what makes this coin so special. The year 1982 was a major turning point for U.S. coinage. The mint was dealing with rising costs, production pressure, and massive changes in how coins were made. Because of that, quality control wasn't always perfect, and those imperfections created some of the most interesting error quarters of the decade. Let's start with one of the biggest reasons collectors love this coin: there were no mint sets made in 1982. That means finding crisp, high-grade examples is extremely difficult. Most of these coins went straight into circulation, got worn down, and stayed in pockets and cash registers for years. So a clean, mint-state 1982 quarter with sharp details is much rarer than people realize, but the real treasure hunt begins with the errors. One of the most desirable is the off-center strike, where the design lands sideways, leaving a chunk of blank metal on the edge. Dramatic off-center examples from this year can be stunning, and the larger the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes. Collectors also search for double die errors, especially around the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust." Doubling appears like a shadow or second outline and is caused by mistakes made when the dies were created. Clear doubling on a 1982 quarter is a major find. Another fascinating error is the clipped planchet, where a curved piece of metal is missing from the coin. These clips can appear small or large, and they instantly grab a collector's attention. There are also broad strike errors, where the coin expands beyond its normal shape because it was struck without the retaining collar. These coins look stretched, wide, and very unusual, and let's not forget struck-through grease errors, where parts of the design are faint or missing because mint grease blocked the die. These coins look soft, weak, or partially erased, and collectors love them for their uniqueness. Because high-quality 1982 quarters are so hard to find, even normal, uncirculated examples are worth hunting for. Sharp details, full luster, and a clean surface can push this coin into higher value ranges, especially if professionally graded. So let's talk about what these coins are worth today in the real market. A regular circulated 1982 quarter is worth 25 cents. A clear double die example can sell for $50 to $200. A strong off-center strike can bring $100 to $500. A clipped planchet or broad strike error can reach $50 to $150. High-grade certified mint state coins have sold for $1,000, and extremely rare, dramatic mint errors have reached $2,000 or more at auction. Top 7, and last rare coin. We're diving into a coin from the mid-90s that hides more surprises than most people expect, the 1996 United States quarter dollar. This is a coin millions of Americans spent every day without realizing that some rare versions of it are worth far more than 25 cents. So stay with me, watch carefully, and get ready to discover the secrets of the 1996 quarter that every collector should know. The 1996 quarter features the classic George Washington design created by John Flanagan, paired with the mighty American eagle on the reverse. By this year, the mint had perfected much of its modern coin production, yet a surprising number of unusual and valuable errors still slipped through, and those are exactly what collectors hunt for today. Let's start with one of the most exciting errors for this year, the off-center strike. When the coin shifts out of position during striking, the design lands off to one side, leaving part of the metal blank. The more dramatic the shift, 10%, 20%, or even more, the higher the value climbs. Some 1996 off-center quarters look so wild that they almost don't seem real. Next, we have the always popular double-die obverse. Look closely at the word liberty, the phrase "In God We Trust," and the date 1996. If any of the letters or numbers show doubling, even faint doubling, your coin could be a valuable find. These doubling errors happen during die creation and are loved by collectors because each one becomes its own unique variety. Another collectible error is the broadstrike quarter, where the rim appears stretched and flatter than normal. This happens when the coin is struck without the collar ring that normally shapes it. Broadstrikes catch your attention instantly because of their unusual appearance. There are also clipped planchets, where a curved piece of the coin is missing, struck through errors, where grease or debris blocks part of the design, and rare wrong planchet errors, where the quarter is mistakenly struck on metal meant for another coin. These are some of the most exciting discoveries any collector can make, even without errors. The 1996 quarter has its own challenge, finding a truly high-grade example. Many of the coins struck that year show marks, wear, or weak luster, meaning that pristine, mint-state versions are far rarer than people think. Top-grade examples certified by professional grading companies can sell for impressive amounts. All of these details, the errors, the varieties, the condition, combine to make the 1996 quarter a hidden treasure in everyday pocket change. And that's why collectors keep a close eye on this particular year. Now let's talk about real-world values. A normal circulated 1996 quarter is worth 25 cents. A clean double-die example can sell for $50 to $200. A major off-center strike can bring $100 to $500. A broad strike or clipped planchet error can reach $50 to $150. High-grade certified mint-state examples have sold for $1,000. And extremely dramatic mint errors have sold for $2,000 or more at major auctions. If you enjoyed this deep look into the 1996 United States quarter, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments if you've ever found a rare quarter in your change. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.